Welcome to session 6 in the Hope Away from Home series. And as we look at today, we're going to be looking at 1 Peter chapter 4. And in that text, the scripture brings up the topic of Jesus and suffering. Now, both of those, even as you think about Jesus going through suffering, that's really relevant to our lives as we deal with suffering. How would you answer somebody that's in the middle of that type of a struggle?
Well, having the mind of Christ is what Peter is getting at here, means that we are to be thinking like he was thinking about suffering in his time on earth. Mm-hmm. And one of the verses that comes to mind that's outside of 1 Peter here is Philippians chapter 2, verses 7 and 8, where it says, he emptied himself, that being Jesus, by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men, and being found in human form, he humbled himself to the point of death. Now, when I think about suffering, maybe I would like to avoid that part of it. And I think the Lord would want us to avoid that too. But what comes to mind for me is that he went to the greatest cost. Yeah. He took it upon himself, and he offers that to us. So to have the mind of Christ is to allow him to have everything, to give up our heart and life, and be willing, just as he desired to do the will of God, to be like Christ.
Yeah, that's great. Well, this will be another one for you to dig in and study and consider. And when you come to that topic of suffering, I challenge you to keep one another accountable on having that attitude, mind of Christ. Dig into those questions and pray for one another, because we do have many topics that we need to really address with that mind of Christ.